Hello again, everyone. You are watching the Trans Day of Visibility celebration on GDQ Hotfix. I am Helix. We are heading into our penultimate run of Deltarune. And, I feel like I've said this for most, if not every run, but I'm very excited for this one. A little bit of Helix lore is that I did run this, I ran Chapter 2 very briefly, like right after it came out. And I have not played much of it since. So I'm very excited to see how the run has changed since then, and just beyond that, I know it's a great speed game, and we have an incredible group of people here to showcase it. I'm here with ashmichda. Ash, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I've been having an absolute blast all weekend. Thank you for
That's
asking.
good. I'm glad to hear. I'm very excited to showcase Deltarune. Deltarune's a very important game to me, and I've put a lot of time into it, so I'm very happy to showcase this to any extent, anywhere. So like I said, I'm very happy to be here. I'm also here with my friends here if they would like to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Woofle. I've been running Deltarune since, I want to say it was about like a week or so after Chapter 2 released, which, now that I think about it, I think that qualifies me for saying that I'm long time now, but...
It's been a very long time.
Yeah, but this is basically my main speed game, so I'm happy to help support Ashley in this cool thing.
And then my name is Heart of Oak, otherwise known as Oakley. I use she, they pronouns. As much as Deltarune is no longer my main speed game, it was the first one that drew me in, and it's a game that I've appreciated for many years. Helped me find some of the best friends I could ask for within the speedrunning community, so I'm happy it's getting showcased here today.
And with that, I say we'll go ahead and get into the run. It's the all bosses category, so we're going to be doing all of the bosses, that being the Spam to Neo secret boss and then the end bosses. So timing starts, I actually have to pick a name here, I forgot. Chapter 1 is different, so we'll do a hi GDQ.
Hi GDQ.
Nice little wave.
Hi.
Anyway,
hi everybody.
Timing starts on guess here, so little countdown. 3, 2, 1, and go. So, like I mentioned, we're doing all of the bosses. Something interesting is that because this is the glitched category, we have some nuance within what is and isn't a boss.
There was a lot of discussion over this.
There was a lot of discussion over this. So whatever you think is a boss is not going to be a boss or might be a boss. But we'll get to that. So just forget what you think is a boss and just know it's going to be the secret boss and the end boss. Okay.
We're going to be deconstructing what a boss really is.
Yeah. So immediately there, we already got our first glitch. Ashley has done a wrong warp there. To, I guess, explain it as simply as possible, every time you load into a room through anything that isn't a screen transition, you're put in something we like to call wrong warp state. So while you're in that state, when you walk into a screen transition, if on the very next frame you then walk out of that screen transition, the game kind of gets confused and just puts you at the room's default point. And that will be used a few times throughout this run.
It's very useful because it's used in some cases to just put you slightly farther into the room, and in other cases to actually skip entire cutscenes, entire sections, and everything.
All right, I was wondering which where
I caught myself last minute because the normal strat there is RNG and not marathon friendly, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah, the normal strat there would be throwing Chris to hit both of their targets, but it's not full RNG, but there are RNG elements to it, so it's not really safe to do in a marathon without risking time.
Yeah, I had to react to that last minute. I kind of scared myself out.
There's like set number of patterns for it, but some patterns are more evil than others, and if you don't hit both of them, it can lose you a lot of time, so it's much safer to go for what Ashley did there.
Much safer. There's also another strat you can do this a little faster, but because of my panic at the last moment, I completely forgot about it, but it's fine.
Something about wrong warp state I'll go ahead and also mention here is anytime you enter a room where you don't wrong warp, you're going to lose that wrong warp state, and the main way to get that wrong warp state back is to return to title and then go back into the game, and that will come into play a couple times throughout this run.
Yeah.
It's also important to mention that there are just some cutscenes that exist that give you wrong warp state, like when I first spawned in to the Dark World here, I had wrong warp state despite not reloading.
Even when you first spawn into the Light World, you also have wrong warp state. Although
which is hilarious and completely
no use for it other than like soft locking the game if you don't have any completion data.
But you know what? Maybe it'll be important in the next chapter. So.
Yeah. If you wrong warp out of Chris's room and then wrong warp back in, that room's default point is inside of Chris's bed. And if you don't have completion data, which means you won't be able to do bed skip to get into Dark World, you just soft lock. Right then and there.
It's a wonderful
it's pretty funny.
Oh,
it's also worth noting that just a cool bit of lore since Toby Fox really likes us and likes the speedrun. Early on, wrong warps were technically patched out because there were a few wrong warps that were easy to do on accident. But now, with wrong warps, they also require you to hold either X or X and C, which are the buttons that we always have held down in these runs.
The C and or control is used as the in-game turbo or the wrist protector, the auto mash, or whatever you want to call it. That's mashing the game for me, so I don't have to mash. It's very nice. And then Shift or X, which is the run button.
Mm-hmm. It's very nice to have in Chapter 2, because in Chapter 1, you still have to mash through text, and that can get really hard on your wrists at times.
Yeah, when I was doing all chapters runs last night, I was feeling it. I was feeling the Chapter 1 strain. I was so glad that I made it out and got into Chapter 2, where I don't have to worry about that.
Literally, right before
we're playing some Punch-Out right now.
I was recording some GDQ submissions that included Chapter 1, so my hands are filling. But it's fine. Yeah, Punch-Out!
Yeah, we got some good Punch-Out here. Yeah. Nice little fun mini game.
72. Ah, darn.
72 is still good, even if 73 is optimal.
Yeah.
I've gotten worse at Punch-Out over the years. I don't know how it happened. Anyway, I'm going to save here because there's a risk of soft locking in this next strike, and hopefully it doesn't happen.
Crashes. So anyways,
here we're going to do the major glitch.
Yeah.
TM.
This is a very normal gameplay. This is the biggest thing that happened to this game between when it first was found, when the game first released, and then this glitch being found. This changed up the boards immensely.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to warp there because those doors don't become active until after you leave those areas. But by doing some text overflow there, you're actually able to use the door early, and that's how we get to Trash Zone.
Yeah.
So the way it works is you interact and start the cutscene, and for some reason, when you close the text box after that cutscene, it gives you your movement back twice. So you can get your movement back once, interact with the door, and then get your movement back again from that first cutscene. And then you just get movement when you're not supposed to, which you can use to overflow text choicers, which is very common in both this and Undertale.
Yeah.
And you can just go wherever you want. The normal, any percent main route, whatever you want to call it, you just go to Mansion. But here we have to go to the city to get the Spampton fight.
Yeah. As a part of all bosses, we need to fight Spampton Neo, and doing the Spampton fight is a prerequisite of that. However, unlike Undertale, where every single boss is automatically set to have been spared until you fight them, Spampton is actually set to have been fought. So if you skip Spampton, you can't do Spampton Neo. So we need to do the normal Spampton fight first, which is why we go to the city instead of Mansion.
Yeah, in any percent, or rather Chapter 2 main route, you would pretty much just go to the mansion, and that would skip about 2/3, maybe that's generous, but about 2/3 of the game.
Yeah.
One thing of note where I was saying what is a boss nuance is Birdly 1 is not a boss. The first Birdly encounter is not a boss, and that's how
same with the DJs.
Yes,
those are not considered bosses after some discussion.
Nice. So that was Mouse one skip.
Yeah, that is it's a lot harder than it looks.
Much harder than it looks, but that saves a good amount of time. You kind of line up the box and then tap onto the button as you press the box up, and then you can skip the section.
Yeah, it's really easy to psych yourself out and think you're 1 pixel too far, and then you just walk onto the button.
Yeah, and by doing that, you get movement where you're not supposed to have it, so you can just walk right out of the room, even though it won't actually show Chris walking.
Yeah. They would do a movement, avoiding enemies. The funny thing about Chapter 2 is that every enemy skip is really easy. So the few enemies we do fight are just ones that are impossible to skip, essentially. So it's funny compared to Chapter 1, where there are a lot of mean encounters that you need to skip.
And they're actually difficult to skip versus just impossible or easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a crazy dynamic between the two. It makes them virtually their own separate speed games because they're completely different skill sets almost.
Yeah,
Where chapter 1 is
very,
entirely movement oriented.
Yeah, movement oriented, very like focusing on small optimizations. And while some of that is coming into chapter 2, as it's getting older and more people have been running it, it's still like very focused on like glitch execution and whatnot, and and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have very different vibes for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coming up here, I mentioned earlier about returning to title and going back into the game to get wrong warp state back. That's where this is going to come into play. And Ashley's going to be attempting a mouse 3 skip, where she'll need to hit a number of wrong warps to
6,
skip
right?
the third. It's 5.
Okay, I thought it was 6.
It's 5 with 2 optional ones at the end.
Okay, yeah.
To skip the third mouse puzzle in the city.
I've gotten this 3 times today, so I better not miss it now.
Yeah,
you got
this. This is the bane of all NMG runners. This trick right here.
Since you have to chain, I missed it. Okay, that's okay. There's a backup we can do.
Yeah,
but since you have to chain it, it's really scary.
Yeah,
and not fun.
And the worst part about it is that if you miss it and you just go and do the mouse puzzle, it loses like 50 seconds. So
yeah, and I'm not about to lose 50 seconds.
There is a backup, and I haven't used the backup much, if at all. I think so.
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm trying not to defend, but there is only so many actions I can do. I don't do this backup very often, but I need to do something here.
Yeah, this backup just involves you die to the mice, which will reload you at the last auto checkpoint, which gives you wrong warp state back.
This is definitely much slower than just getting it first try, but it doesn't quite put you all the way back, so I could have died there.
Yeah, believe it or not, this is still faster than having to do the third mouse puzzle.
Yeah, so it just spawns me back here, and I just have to do 2 wrong warps. Which hopefully I actually get. If I missed him now, that'd be really embarrassing.
Yeah, the last wrong warp, for me at least, is the hardest.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
So
Alright, she's got it there.
Still save time. That would have saved like 50 seconds if I got it first try, but that did still save time.
And gets the optional warps. Yeah.
Yeah, after losing a bunch of time. Of course, I can get those. The big thing for me is it's not even like how hard or how not hard a wrong warp is. It's just if I get stuck there trying it over and over again, then my fingers cramp up and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So at least I got here in the
all
end.
wrong warp chains in this game are really scary because you miss one and it's basically just over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on to
as much as I'd love to just reset.
Yeah, we're on to Birdly 2 here, and actually it's more optimal to not attack on the first turn and instead use the Play Smart action, because that allows you to actually complete the fight quicker.
Yeah, it raises Noelle's magic stat, which means you can use Ice Shock, like we're playing the Weird Route over here, and that just allows you to end the Birdly fight in 4 turns.
I'm scared I'm gonna heal.
That is.
I would make
completely valid.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I'm gonna do that I would normally make fun of people for doing. So bear with me. I'm scared.
Hey, you could have gotten the pink ribbon. Smile.
No, hold on. I don't go that far. There's an item that vastly increases the graze window, which is like the little box that's been appearing around the heart up until now in fights. That increases it like double and makes every single fight extremely easy. I will not do that because that's slow and
it's slow. And in this category specifically, it locks you out of also doing like the optimal fight strats because you need the bow ties later.
Yeah, it's just actively slower anyway. So even more slower than it. Even more slower. That's a word. Even more slower than it already is. So
I used to be a pink bow tie. Pink ribbon, rather. Truther, but I am no longer a truther.
At this point, I only grab pink ribbon during Snowgrave runs and all chapters, all bosses.
That's
that
fair.
category is long enough that the 6 seconds you lose for grabbing it does not matter to me at all.
Potassium. Anyway, we have another strat coming up here. This is a super fun one. Probably my favorite strat in all of Deltarune entirely, just as a whole.
It's very cool. Okay,
I'm glad I got it. This one is known short form as ABHS, which is long form. All bosses heck strat, censored for GDQ purposes.
Yeah.
I would explain this, but I feel like if I start explaining it, I'm going to get confused when I actually do the fight.
Yeah,
so.
well, you just watch this very normal gameplay. You know, you can enjoy Lancer's little dance there.
So yeah, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to have the menu open.
Yeah,
That's very weird.
No, this is normal. This happened to me in my casual playthrough. You know.
So basically,
every copy of Deltarune is personalized.
It is. It just is. So basically, what I did there was I did a little interact slide to skip this fight altogether. But instead of walking out of the room, I walked to the end of the room and opened the menu and called on the cell phone right before the fight started, which gave me movement for the fight itself. So right now I actually have movement in the world, in like the real world. I'm just opening the menu so that I don't accidentally walk out of the room every time.
Yeah.
And so
we
once
do
this
this
fight
because
ends, I can just walk out of the room. And so not only does that mean that I can end the fight without a little cutscene at the end, but I can just walk out of bounds through this part and I don't have to wait for the card to come up.
And it skips the cut. Not only does it skip the cutscene after Spanton, it skips the cutscene that you would go through there. Unfortunately, we cannot skip this.
Yeah, this is the longest, one of the longest cutscenes before the final cutscene, and it's completely unskippable.
Yeah, it's interactive that you can walk around, but it's just a cutscene.
If you didn't catch any of the stuff we just did with all of the extremely long and technically advanced city section, now's a good time to relax and catch your breath and look back and make sure you didn't miss anything, because there's a lot of this, which is kind of just nothing.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
there's a lot of cutscenes in the back half of the run.
It's a lot of nothing.
Because Summer Games Done Quick is coming up, so let's talk about that for a second. Because submissions, volunteer applications, and run submissions close tomorrow. I'm saying it a lot because they close tomorrow, and so if you haven't submitted, then you need to get on that. Do not miss it. The event is in Minneapolis, July 6th through 13th, and registration is also open until May 26th. You can use !SGDQ in Twitch chat, or visit gamesdonequick.com for more info. But again, volunteer applications, run submissions close tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, so do not wait any longer.
I know, I'm looking forward to it.
Now, because you timed that perfectly, because now we're at the end of the room.
There's still nothing to talk about, though. Unfortunately, this section's pretty bare. Like, we're at the end of the room, yay, but, now we got more cutscenes.
More cutscenes, yeah. There's gonna be some, comedy going on in the game, but, I don't know how to read. I'm an Undertale fan.
I can't read it. I mean, it's in English, but I can't read.
Yeah. Queen does her best Shohei Ohtani impression, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, now would be a great time for donations. It would, if we were at an actual GDQ main stage. Speaking of which, SGDQ, yada yada, they just did the whole rant about it, but
We have
get those runs in.
Various Twitch Prime subscriptions and bits cheered from Twitch chat who would like to support GDQ Hotfix, so thank you, Twitch chat. Also, just thank you in general, everyone, for supporting this event. It means a lot to, I know, not only me and Quacksilver who helped put this together, but everyone here.
Absolutely, it's important. It's transgender is cool, believe it or not, and
that's so
we are
real.
visible. So yeah, if you're reading this, I say it out loud as if you can read my words. You are cool if you are transgender.
Yeah, I very much appreciate this event. It's always nice to have some kind of light shed on trans people just in general. I'm a trans person living in Texas, so it's always nice to have that little bit of a, hey, by the way, you exist.
Anyway, speaking of the gameplay going on here, this section right here, this room, is kind of notorious for getting optimal movement in, because those are very tight turns you have to make there on very narrow walkways.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
Just one. Only one, but I got one.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but the run system in this game is momentum based, so if you bump into something, it'll take a little bit when you start running to actually get back up to full speed.
Yeah, if you bump into a wall, then it just sets you back to your walking speed, and you have to build back up to top speed.
I love how that's such fundamental knowledge that we just consistently forget to mention it.
It's
just ingrained in our brains.
Yeah, and it's also something that's very easy to see just by watching the gameplay itself.
I mean, yeah. Unless you play the whole thing bumpless. Which I did not. I guarantee you I did not. I could not.
Has anyone?
We have some more mouse-based shenanigans going on here.
This is a surprisingly difficult, completely intended part of the game. Hopefully I can catch them all. I've dropped them before.
Yeah, so
Mostly from
I
looking
get
at
up to 20
I've
mice.
seen some pretty weird misses with this. Where like the mouse was very clearly inside the bucket, but it just clipped through.
Yeah.
I've
The
heard several
hitboxes in this
occasions where I
game
just
are
like,
completely
go on.
normal. I was going to say the hitboxes in this game are
the
completely
hitboxes are
normal.
broken.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shout out to sparing mouse and all recruits glitched, where in the specific encounter you do in city, the only way you can catch it is if like was it the leftmost pixel of the mouse sprite touches the top half of the cage.
it's so stupid.
It's so stupid. I hate it, but also it's really funny.
It is very funny. It's a very.
I
it's a
can
very
I
fun
can
game.
forgive anything like that. I'm like, but is it funny though?
Is it funny? That's kind of what I mean. That's what matters at the end of the day, right? It's like
Yeah.
a lot can be excused so long as it's funny. It just has to be really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, more cutscenes in case you.
Yeah,
were not
there's
keeping it.
there's lore going on here. There's a plot, but like, I don't know. This game apparently has a story.
This game has a story. Queen plays mobile games. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. There's like a goat.
There is a goat, among
There is
other
a goat.
things. So we're in prison now, I guess. I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
been keeping up.
I think like you committed tax evasion or something. Not sure.
I fat fingered the last button and I almost called the phone. That was bad.
That would have
It's
been
fine
funny.
It would have been funny though.
There's a chance to just like, well, not like a chance, like it's RNG, but it's possible to just mismenu at the end of there and then call the cell phone and lose like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it has been done a lot in the past.
Yeah.
Not so uncommon occurrence.
Mm-hmm. Especially like
Unfortunate.
if you're like if you're going from other categories that have multiple items in the key item menu. So like you're used to like menuing down to select Lancer, but like
Down
you're now
right.
running a category where you have to menu right. So nothing happens when you menu down. So you just call the cell phone.
It's very scary anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Flashbacks to when I called Gaster trying to equip Thorn Ring.
I remember that. That was so funny. Yeah, Ashley and I were racing in one of the category extensions, Track of RTP. No, I will not explain what it means.
Sorry,
And,
excuse me. Darn it. I don't know if that's on the... Anyway. I tried to go for something there that's called Mansion Interact Slide, or MIS for short, and it's really hard and annoying, because I just kind of hold upright and YOLO interact, and it did not work, but you can do this puzzle while the other characters are talking, and then skip a cutscene or two.
Saves a few seconds.
But it's definitely one of the harder ones.
Yeah. Also coming up here after this, we're gonna have a cutscene where, you know, Birdley explains his backstory and whatnot and why he's the way he is. And it's gonna involve a spelling bee. And the word they
why
spell
he's
out
the way he is.
is completely random.
My
And
money's on
you can use
clever.
time. I'm feeling pretty genius. Let's see. Yeah, I knew it.
Yes.
You are a genius.
And we also
apparently.
did December skip there to skip them spelling out the word December. I actually don't know how that works.
So December skip, the way that works is as the text from the first word text is disappearing, if you start to hold the auto masher again, which I undid at that point, and you get it right, I believe it's like a 15-ish frame window. However, it only works on every other frame within that window, so it's like a 50-50 chance in a way. If you can get it right, then it'll skip the December word from ever showing up and then save like 8 seconds.
Oh, it being
So
every
it's
other
kind of
frame
just a
is
gamble.
brutal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's basically a gamble. You just kind of
Yeah.
hope, and I hoped right,
There's a number of weird frame rules with some of the tricks in this game.
and they're all awful.
And they're all different, and you have to remember them all.
You have to
Yeah.
remember I mean, there's so much memory, which is why it's bad because I don't remember any of this.
All right, so we've
anyway.
basically now been freed from cutscene jail. So you know we can play the game now, progress the story more. But we're gonna backtrack now though anyway to go speak to our good friend Mr. Spampton G. Spampton, everybody's favorite Deltarune character. Jebel's better. I mean, what?
I mean,
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the win.
so yeah,
Also,
we go there, grab the
Ashley,
key.
don't forget to
gem.
go buy weapons when you get the chance as well.
Yeah. I do that on the way back because I need the
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah.
that way.
I that's something I've forgotten way too much.
Don't forget to buy weapons. Don't forget to buy bagels.
Don't forget to buy bagels.
Anyway, so we're in the mansion section now. There's a very notable trick coming up in a second, which is funny because I call it a trick, but it's actually completely intended gameplay. So hopefully I can get this.
Does the pot have momentum?
So imagine a pot.
Oh, that was easy. It's easy.
Yeah,
that was a really good pot
call,
balance.
Pot balance.
Ah,
So
yeah,
normally,
that's-
you would wonder why don't we just carry the pot to the finish line? That is because when you carry it to the finish line, it plays a little cutscene where like they congratulate you. You know, Susie pats you on the back, and that causes the pot to fall off and break, and you do the fight anyway. So instead, we just break the pot right before the finish line, so we can just keep moving and run past the swatchlings.
You hug the left here, they just don't
Yeah.
spawn. So
Yeah.
oh, I interacted with nothing.
Ah.
Sorry. Anyway, inside jokes. I got to do it. We're gonna go through here and open the switch that's very mysterious and isn't actually there, but it's there, so we can open this path. I honestly have no idea how you're supposed to find out about that normally. It's honestly crazy. But
Also, did
it
you
is
buy
there.
bow ties? I wasn't paying attention.
No, I buy that on the way back too because I need
Okay.
I thought the same thing, but I assumed you were going to buy them on the way back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the first 4, and the reason I'm gonna skip the first 4 is because every single time I practice this within the past like 4 days, I have missed them. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
there's
cut my
a
losses
there's a
there.
strat here called basement warps. You know, you just wrong warp throughout the entire basement. It is what I like to call the biggest scam in Deltarune speedrunning history.
Which is accurate.
Because
The more wrong warps you do, the more time you save. And
Yeah.
the first 4 are a scam because the first 2 don't save any time. The second 2 do. But you can also just reload after the first 4 if you screwed up. So just start after the first 4. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's
Yeah.
dumb. This game sucks. Anyway.
This is like the basement warps are like the one time where me actively not going for a trick has saved time for me.
Because it's just better.
Yeah. Basement warps are a lie made up by big
I will
nerds
not
to sell
stand
more
for
wrong
basement
warps.
warp. I will not stand for basement warp propaganda. It is not allowed in this community. Anyway,
I can't get over there was a chapter 2 all bosses glitched LTA held like what was it about 2 months ago now, and I will never get over how during it I just did a run where I didn't go for basement warps at all. I just played it glitchless and I golded by like 30 seconds I think.
it's
Classic.
It's fate.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. That's
So
not
yeah,
really-
theoretically, I could have wrong warped here and then save some time, but
Yeah, the wrong warp out of
blue
that room
time
is
save.
the first wrong warp that actually saves time.
I'm not on PB face. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I very much honestly I have no idea what my face is.
Yeah, now
I'm
the
gonna reload
import-
here.
Yeah, these are the important wrong warps because these do actually save quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And in my practice, I got all of these. So
Are you telling me this isn't world record pace?
I doubt it. World record is very good.
Yeah.
A lot of the categories in this game are very like
we have some
heavily
very
contested at the
optimized.
top.
Yeah, we have some very optimized records in this category.
Mind you, I believe all of these wrong warps are frame perfect. So
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
30 FPS game. Okay, I missed the last one.
You
That's
missed the
unfortunate.
best one.
I know. That's unfortunate.
No
I got
more.
most of them.
Yeah, no.
You got a
OBJ
good amount of
underscore
them.
weird route manipulator.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Literally
so
1984.
So we're gonna
Literally
start by going
1997.
there and buying weapons. These are the weapons we skipped the first time around because door overflow.
Mm-hmm.
So buy them this time for Queen. They're actually not used for Spam to Neo, but they are used for Queen.
Yeah.
Additionally,
since,
we're gonna go
we
over
already
here.
have to use the door to
Do
go
I need
back
all
to,
4?
I believe
yes.
you. Yeah, you need all
do
4.
Okay. So buy 4 of those as well,
Mm-hmm.
and then this can all
Buy
be used. For
Spamton.
Queen.
Yeah,
I'm actually
Spamton is
not
now
going
dead.
with them.
We have
Yeah,
killed
Spamton is
Spamton.
dead, except not really because we're about to go say hi. Oh, Spamton's dead. Spamton's gone.
Yeah, it was shout out to taking the loaded disc outside of the Dark World where it just gets deleted from your inventory.
Does it really?
Yeah, if you like just don't continue the quest from here and just go and beat the game as normal when you exit the Dark World and then go back to like Castletown or whatever, the loaded disc is just removed from your inventory.
Amazing.
Anyway, we're coming up to I guess what most people would actually consider the highlight. I mean, it's the thing that makes it unique.
Well,
the
I
Spam to
mean,
Neo fight.
Well, we already killed Spamton. Spamton's dead. The bosses
Yeah.
are done. We're just going on.
Well, I'm talking about
Yeah.
Spamton Neo.
No, they're all gone. They're all gone.
Oh, okay. That makes
Wait a
sense.
minute.
Who's that?
How'd that get there? Anyway, we have the Spamton Neo fight.
Yeah.
This fight's pretty basic. I will need to focus just a little bit because I don't want to screw this up.
To quickly explain the major thing, we're going to do something called the Big Shot exploit, where if you hold Enter and mash Z, you will just spam constant charge shots. However, after this was discovered, Toby later patched it so that Spamton gets angry when you do it. So, and when he gets angry, he throws out all of his harder attacks and also does like 1,000,000 damage. So you basically just die in one hit every time you get hit.
Is that not just the most Toby Fox decision to make him get angry for using it?
Yeah. I mean, I know Ralsei, like, regardless, will always die in one hit when he's enraged. I think if Chris doesn't get hit prior, they can survive one hit, and I think Susie can get hit once and survive an enraged hit.
Susie can get hit twice, so that's fine. Or like get hit once and survive.
Yeah.
But I just won't get hit, so it won't be there.
Wait, that's true.
True.
And
Wait,
I'm
that's
gonna
true.
enrage here.
We're also going to be
not
seeing
enraged.
some grazing here. The grazing in this fight, like, you might not think it would save a ton of time, but grazing does make the turn shorter, so there is a reason to go for it, and grazing some attacks, like specifically this attack right here,
Shoot! That's not good.
saves a lot of time.
Now we do have a heal on deck, where the little Spamton Angels will give you a kiss on the forehead and heal you back up.
We are also going to like get these two other pieces of the head here on low on health, so we can then destroy them the next time this attack shows up, which will.
I need to play this much safer. I don't have healing anymore. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
That's bad. And it's Ralsei. Okay. Bear with me. I knew this would happen.
This happens. This happened to me like multiple times this last week when I was running all chapters.
And because it's glitched, I just have to wait, basically. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I
'cause
could
you don't
be snapping normally, but I don't. Okay, well, that's what I expected. I'm just waiting for Ralsei to come back at this point. It was destined to happen.
Yeah, there is targeting RNG in this game, and like it really can mess you up, especially if you see in this case if it takes down Ralsei twice.
I'm normally good at this game, I swear. Okay, now we can get back to the actual actions. And
No, yeah, Ashley is very good at this game. Has had
that's
multiple world records.
And since we don't have S
That's what I
action or
figured.
R action, because we skipped DJs earlier, we can't like use their actions to like help with getting Phantom's spare. Lower.
Yeah, this fight's gonna last a minute. And I
very unfortunate turn of events here.
very, very unfortunate. I'm trying to.
It's alright, we'll get back on track here.
Yeah,
This is gonna add like a few minutes to the estimate, all things considered. Well, not to the estimate, but to the final time.
This is one of those things where, like, but this actually applies to both secret bosses, Spamton and in Chapter 1 Jebel, where the fight goes very smoothly when you're doing it correctly, but like if you get hit, like even once, it can spiral out of control very easily.
Very
snowbally. Is so
snowbally.
much more punishing because we don't have the like smaller single snap actions on Susie or Ralsei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just completely off the walls. I probably lost like a minute there.
But it's fine. It just gave us more time to listen to Big Shot, you know?
It is one of the best songs in the game, after all.
Well, Revolving is better. I mean, what?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what?
Why must
who
we
said that?
compare two kings?
All right,
That's true. 2 cakes or whatever.
Yeah.
it's
Anyways.
over.
Spamton
You
has
did
died
it.
for real now.
Spamton is not, in fact, a real boy.
All right, I got the stunt double out of here. I'm sorry. I won't bring her back again. It's me now. I'll play the game for this.
Welcome back, Ashley.
I'm sorry. I wanted to
welcome
take a
back.
handbrake. I should have known.
Yeah, need to go
I've
drink
since
some water.
fired them. Made some budget cuts along the way, so now I can. Anyway, we've got some menuing to do here.
And we have a few wrong warps. But
I was
interesting,
gonna
you know,
ask, is
we're
this-
put into this room, you know, through a cutscene, so you do get wrong warp state after this.
Gotcha.
I
That was
think I did
actually my
that
question.
hmm
I think I did everything right. I honestly have no idea if I got the right things on the
Uh,
right people.
Nice.
You put well, considering you can't equip bow ties to Susie.
Yeah, deal maker. Bow tie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Susie is annoying when it comes to equipment because not only can you only change your equipment by replacing it with another piece of equipment, she also won't accept certain equipments, like stuff like ribbons and all that type of stuff. I don't know the full list. I just know like white ribbon, pink ribbon, bow ties.
She's very picky.
Yeah.
She's too cool for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She's too school for school.
Anyway, I think they're doing all those wrong whips out of the basement to get us up here. Oh, going for the full chain.
I gotta make up for that horrible Spain Neo.
Yeah, normally
Look,
you can just
cool.
end the wrong warp chain after wrong warping into the car room. Since from here, like, there's only like one other wrong warp that saves time, which is what Ashley is trying to go for. Did you get it? I couldn't see.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it, but it's fun. It would be so awesome. Anyway, mouse wheel.
Now one of the most infamous enemies in Chapter 2
I hate this.
speedrunning.
I hate this encounter so much.
Optimally, we're going to want to defeat this in 2 turns.
I already put all of my badness into Neo, so
Yeah, I like to, with mouse wheel, I like to call it skill-based RNG because there are really bad patterns.
True.
But whenever I get a 3-turn, there's always that part of me that's just like, well, maybe if I had done the catch just a bit better, I could have gotten it. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because, you have to catch 50 mice there. They each give you 2% for the recruit percentage. So,
slow.
and then once you get it to 100%, the fight just ends.
Oh? Wait, pause?
Wait, she's goated?
I'm wasting so much time on these wrong warps. But, okay,
But it's
so
gonna be worth it.
a while ago I did all the wrong warps that I needed to, but you can continue them and then save some time later if you get them quickly. And I'm doing it now to. It's a redemption. It's a form of redemption. Bear with me.
You're on your hero's journey.
Mm-hmm. You hit the lowest point, but that just means you can only go up from here. You know.
Those platters were honestly pretty good. I'd say better than Taz if you. I'd say those were better than Taz.
For context, there is like an old task of this game that did that room very unoptimally.
I knew better. I knew better.
So get that last wrong warp for Swag,
I can still
I
get
guess.
it. Yeah.
Now you gotta.
There you go.
Man, this is,
that's an unfortunate part. Like if you miss that wrong warp too many times, then either Susie or Ralsei will break their pot that they're chasing around, and
yeah. Well, there you go.
Hey, get the wrong warp. Yeah, normally like that's what's happening. You just get it, and you'll just wrong warp to the other side of the room, which is faster than just walking through that room normally.
And that's like the full mansion wrong warp chain. I did get it all. I just kind of took a couple hits along the way.
It looked cool.
You took the scenic route.
It still counts.
I mean, yeah. No, I did.
You still got all the wrong warps. So I see
I
this
made it
as
out the other end. There's just I made it out the other end. There's just a lot of thorns in my leg, and very painful to take out.
Shout out to Thorny. I mean, the best Deltarune category where you buy 48 thorn rings.
Which is something you're totally supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, this is intended gameplay. My uncle worked at Toby Fox, and he told me it'll be required for Chapter 7.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's the mansion section. I'm so thankful it's over. Now we get into the.
We can chill out a bit here now.
We can chill out a little bit. Now we get this nice romantic, fun, chill tunnel of love full of acid.
Yeah. And just so you know, Ashley is not also touching those houses to make them blue just because it makes a noise and gives you something to do during this. But also, in an upcoming fight, it will give you extra TP for every house you turn blue, which we want to end that fight in 2 turns.
I believe you have to at least get all of them except for one, though.
Yes,
we generally go for all of them anyway.
All of them. I mean, that part is to give you something to do. But yeah, all of them but one is fine. So if you miss one early, you don't need to panic. You can just go get it or go get a different one. Go get it later. Yeah, go get a different one.
Go get it later from the store or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got all of them. I didn't need to. Or maybe I did. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna graze really poorly. Anyway, we're gonna get stopped by a giant hand.
Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna go for more another infamous room for its tight movement.
was
These
saying this
houses
earlier, but
are
from the-
notoriously hard to interact with.
They are very
Yeah,
difficult.
and getting on those pathways without bumping into the side.
I was kind of
Anyways,
thinking this earlier, but this section
also
from a casual
teleportation.
perspective is like the most fever dream section out of all of it. It's just so it's so strange.
Yeah, I like whenever you switch off a path while Ralsei is standing on it. He just kind of teleports behind you.
I didn't
Nothing
even notice
personal.
that. Anyway, 2 mouse, 1 mouse. There is the solution. Remember that.
Yeah, everybody.
It will be a
remember to-
test.
It's very important.
There will be a test.
God,
There will be a proctored exam.
Thinking about 2 mouse, 1 mouse, that was one of the first jokes I remember hearing when I was watching speedruns of this game. Oh my god, I feel old, and it's only been like 3 years.
You should feel it. Anyway. They're looking at each other. How cute is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looking left because you didn't treat me right. Yeah,
But
the funny thing about this room is that whatever direction whatever arrow key direction you are holding going into this room, Chris will look in that direction. So you can have some pretty funny moments.
yeah. Now we'll be coming up on the rules card fight.
Yeah, also that thrash machine there, it's important that it has the
Nice.
flame head. There used to be like an entire manip for it. If anyone watched the Deltarune run from GDQ 2022, you'll remember Shay talking about the manip briefly. But I don't remember which update it was. I think it was like 1.14. I think.
And didn't 10 do it?
It wasn't 10. It was.
Or it was like
one of the
1.08
updates.
that did it, but we don't talk about 1.08.
But basically, because of some from what I remember, some changes in how RNG is seated in Game Maker from like a Game Maker update.
Oh,
It
no,
just
no, no. It was.
It
12.
shifted the RNG around, and now Flamehead is the default head for the thrash machine. So we don't have to
It was
worry about doing
1.5.
manip. Unless you are.
Oh
running-
no!
No!
I missed menu. Ah, man.
Oh, now we have to give Ralsei a hug. How terrible.
Unfortunate.
Oh no! What a
Anyway.
shame.
We're coming up on the most famous strat in this game. Famous
Oh,
Kotaku
wow.
article worthy strat.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Meet the
Is
lesbian.
that-
Skip.
Meet the lesbian skip.
Hey,
Don't
it's the
care.
lesbians
Yeah.
we were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. It's funny that we call that a skip because just apparently like that was just something like day one runners didn't know that you could actually skip that cutscene because there's like a long cutscene there between Susie and Noelle. Ooh yeah.
That's
But
a
if you
tricky
just say
skip.
that you don't want to hear about their experiences, the game just doesn't make you.
You just don't have to watch it. And that is how lesbian skip was created.
Ah, 3 hits. Okay. Queen is hard. I need to focus.
Queen is not only
Queen is
hard,
very
the fight
precise.
varies like through almost every different category.
Ooh, I got a crit. I'm worried. I also have no idea how to back this up. Oh, why did it? Sorry.
Auto masher
I
moment.
was looking at the Queen guide, and I guess I fat
Yeah.
fingered control. Nice. Yes, I'm
This
using a
can-
guide. No, I'm not afraid to admit it.
This community is very nice because we have like a very detailed guide that goes over basically every single variation of the Queen fight that is in every single main board category.
Shout out to
And there's
Jack.
like double
Thanks for the guide.
digits of them.
Yeah, shout out to Jack for that. It is
Jack's
like,
a real one.
it is a really good tool to have on hand.
Please. Okay, that's fine. That's good.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
This
Yeah.
should be second. I didn't screw it up
Yes.
for once today.
Yeah.
So we're actually going
Uh,
to skip Queen's first shield.
Yeah.
She puts up 3 during the fight. We're only going to see the second one.
Shoot. All right.
Oh, yeah, you need both crits when you do fight roof fight.
Yeah, that's okay. So I did
That's
lose
all right.
1 turn on the shield, but that's not nearly as bad as missing it elsewhere.
Yeah, this fight is like very particular. I personally find it kind of annoying, but like if you like either like there are cases where you can hit too many crits and mess up. It's like, you can like sometimes there are certain variations where you miss a crit and it's just messed up immediately, and there's nothing you can do about it.
The damage
but-
thresholds for these fight variations gets really wacky really fast.
and it's a lot you have to keep track of.
This should be just a 6 turn, which is... Please? Okay. It's a 6 turn, that's
Alright.
perfectly fine. A lot of
6
this is
turn
just
1
present.
shield is still very good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Getting a 1 shield in general is just pretty good because getting a shield at all that isn't just the second shield, it loses a lot of time.
It's the first queen today that I didn't mess up. So, and I've done a number of queens today.
Mm-hmm. And the only way it wasn't optimal because you missed one crit, which is fine. There are way worse ways to have messed it up.
Oh yeah.
We have
I mean, even because
freed,
for the first 2 turns, I have to hit 3 crits for this variation, and I missed 1, so I hit 3, which is scary.
Absolutely. We have freed Falco Lombardi. I mean, we have freed Birdley.
Mm-hmm.
You were itching to make that joke. I could. I could feel that.
His arm's a little toasted, though. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah.
The Smash player, guys.
Listen.
Anyways, more cutscenes here coming up on the last actual fight for this chapter, Giga Queen. Are you gonna go for the new strat? Or are you gonna?
I gotta redeem myself.
You know what? Yeah. I don't fully remember how the new strat works. I just know it's like timing punches specifically to.
This is easy.
Make her attack quicker.
So one notable thing I'm gonna do, the main difference you're gonna see immediately is instead of just punching 3 times, I'm going to punch twice, and then wait a second to punch so that she like a little animation at the end of her attacks is like quicker. That's a major thing. Besides that, I don't know, there's a guy that's like, you gotta do 1 punch and you gotta do 2 punch. It's so much work, so much math. I don't like math, so I'm just gonna do it simple.
Also, to note, you have to do basically have to do this entire fight up until the final attack no hit.
Oh yeah, you have to no hit.
If you no hit like the first 2 rounds, in round 3, her attacks will A, get much faster, and B, her defense will lower.
That's something I often forget about, actually. Yeah, no, that seems like such fundamental knowledge.
Yeah,
it's something we take for granted.
Yeah,
so you don't want to get hit at all. Although we do get hit on the final attack intentionally, but we'll explain that when we get there.
That's fine.
Yeah, you don't need that crit there.
Since you have bow ties. This fight is very wacky in terms of how it works. A shout out to me on the fly trying to do a backup strat and a main route glitch run that inadvertently led to the discovery that not getting weapons in main route glitch would actually be faster. Because before the only barrier was that that at the time weaponless queen was too slow to justify not grabbing weapons. But then we figured out some weird quirk of the fight that I accidentally discovered, and weaponless became faster.
You did this.
Hey, it's oh, DKS, double kick skip. Easy every time. That saves like what, 0.1?
But 0.9. Cool. 0.9, okay.
Okay, I remember hearing 0.1 a long time ago, but...
Not only does it do that, but it just looks really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we have and we're also going to take advantage of another bug here, where if she is about to start her final attack and you use self-fix, when she crouches there and you punch her, it skips the final attack.
And that saves a lot of time.
I've never done Giga Queen like that before in any category, and I just did it fully on a whim.
Yeah.
Nice.
That should make up the Neo. I've spent this whole
I think you've redeemed yourself.
That and the DKS.
You completed your hero's journey.
All right. I think that was a solid so far. We've got like 8 minutes premiere of a lot of cutscenes and a lot of waiting.
Check something. Do I have? No, I don't have it. I don't have a pack right now. I want to open a TCGP pack.
Oh my gosh!
Every time I stream this game, I always check for a pack when I'm at this part of the game.
Oh, this would be a great game for me to just do shiny hunting during.
Right?
Gosh,
just make a sandwich on Scarlet and Violet while you watch the end of these cutscenes.
I think it was like Crystal one time who practiced Deltarune during the roaring just for like the next run.
Yeah,
that is
just would have a different copy of Deltarune open and just practice.
This game has like a lot of history with bugs in specific versions. I remember in 1.08, there was like a bug that happened where debug mode was essentially just left on. The roaring. I remember like at that time, Crystal was trying to like find a way to use the debug features that were left on to skip Giga Queen, and involved a lot of watching the roaring.
A lot of watching the roaring. I love the roaring.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1.09 came out. We were just able to skip the roaring.
Yeah.
I think there's a monkey ball category I can do that would fit in during this cutscene. I'll just do that.
Yeah. With 1.09, you're able to like skip that. So surely that's the most beloved patch of the game, right?
Oh
No.
lord.
Sure.
No. 1.09 is a very cursed version of the game. Normally, Toby will leave in a lot of speedrun related tech because it doesn't really help anybody to patch it out. However, in 1.09, there was a bug so game breaking that like you could easily soft lock your file with it, that it had to be patched out, and it just also unfortunately happened to really benefit speedruns. So it's like the one time in this game a major skip had to be patched out.
Yeah. And like Wiffle mentioned, for good reason. It was really bad for casual play. Like, it had really bad ramifications.
There's a whole reason behind it involving like save locations getting messed up and shifted around. I do know in 1.09, like dying to certain fights would soft lock your file because you would be sent to like an inescapable room and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you all are unfamiliar with the patching history of this game, Toby definitely would not patch out speedrun stuff unless he absolutely had to. He has gone to some lengths to specifically keep speedrun tech around for us. So
absolutely
speedrun tech around and make things a bit more convenient for us. We didn't see it in this run because we skipped the DJs, but the strat for the DJs fight is letting Chris die so that it just skips to the end of the fight without having to wait like however many turns it is. And normally at the beginning of this game's life, that was just complete RNG. You just had to get Chris to low HP before the fight and just pray. But
yeah,
in 1.08, it was changed so that as long as you make sure, as long as the top DJ is not dancing on like odd numbered turns, Chris will always get hit. It just makes
I found
it
that
much
strat, so I used that to claim that I affected the development of Deltarune slightly.
Yeah,
that's true.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Actually,
that's the one thing that I have.
mm-hmm.
That's a pretty epic thing to have.
It's a pretty epic thing to have.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. Clearly. While we're just doing some dialogue here, if you all missed any of this run or any of the prior runs or any of the other Hotfix content, make sure you check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of good runs today. I've been checking in and out, and it's been fun to see.
I've been lurking.
Yeah.
I've been lurking for most of today.
It's been awesome. There's been so much good stuff all weekend.
I was watching the SA2 run, like just lurking there, and I saw Oakley in chat, and I immediately opened my DMs and just because of the part of the run I just immediately DM'd her box Tua.
Just oh no, not that again.
Sans! Okay. Anyway, sorry, necessary detour. Back to
required for the category, obviously.
If you don't do that, you actually get your run rejected.
I'm a moderator. All the rules are moderated discretion.
Yeah, we send trained snipers to your location and all that. It's very serious business.
It's very serious business.
This is no laughing matter.
Laughs. Anyway.
Okay, now there is a bit of tech coming up. Despite this being like basically cutscene, there is some small tech coming up here.
Time to crash my computer.
Happened before. During the sync cutscene, if you enter like keys on your keyboard, like
there they go
at all, Chris will start shaking, and that actually makes like this a little shorter.
At one point, I would just like mash my entire keyboard, and one time I ended up closing my OBS mid-run and then actually blue screening. So I've since stopped doing that and only do the letter keys.
That's great.
You live your life, right?
Walking on the keyboard, classic.
Well, you don't want to blue screen during a marathon.
I mean, the run's basically over. It'd be funny.
The run is basically over.
Despite the tasks of this game being pretty old and outdated, I will always love this section of the task where, because, it can just input, like, every single frame, it just causes Chris to slide to basically the other side of the room. It's really funny.
I think the most I've seen with, like, a human mash is I've seen people get to that wide, like, the left edge of that wide shampoo bottle.
Yeah, that's about as far as I've ever gotten. I think I've maybe gotten to the curtain one time, maybe, almost, but... When you get to the shower, that's always like where you want to aim to get it for comedy value.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris has exited the window and is now coming back. Surely nothing happened out there.
And then I think this is what happens normally
Don't
to
worry about the gas
non-binary
line.
people, but
Yeah.
Mind you, Chris is non-binary, so I'm actually promoting this by making Chris even more visible than they would normally be.
yeah.
True.
Real.
Ace.
Though I think they're making themselves visible enough by climbing out the window and cutting a gas line. But
Well,
I digress.
you have to support trans wrongs if you support trans rights. Okay.
That's true. Yeah, it is true.
Anyways, you got more cutscenes. The end of this run, like, is just really all cutscenes.
It's a lot of cutscenes.
I forgot how long this is.
Which is
Yeah.
like nice though, because once you finish a run, you get a moment to like relax. It's nice in the fact of like if you get a good run, you get to sit there and relax and like reflect on it, so it kind of feels short. But then it also sucks if you're like just barely at not past like a minute barrier or something, because then you have to wait 8 minutes to see if you got what you were trying to get.
Yeah.
Nah,
My favorite part about all these cutscenes is that in like 1.09 main route glitch, you know, from the end of the Giga Queen fight to the run ending, the amount of cutscenes is about like a little over 8 minutes. So in 1.09 main route glitch, which is the shortest like main category,
For chapter
means
2,
about-
yeah.
for chapter 2, it means about a third of the run is just this cutscenes. These
At least
cutscenes
they're at
right
the end
here.
of the run and not at the beginning or something.
Yeah,
That's true.
True.
yeah,
Imagine we had this and RNG minute. Oh boy.
yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm glad RNG Minip is gone.
Things have come a long way. I'm so
Things
glad
have
we
come a
don't have the
long way.
RNG minute.
And that's why this category and this speedrun in this game as a whole should be allowed into SGDQ 2020. No.
No.
I'll save that for my submission videos over on the side. I have been saying that a lot. But anyway, timing ends right about here when this text box closes, and now that's time.
GG.
Woo!
I didn't
Okay,
give
well,
enough
hey, really
hindsight
quick.
for the time, so I
There's
hope
Really
gonna be
quick,
some more
speaking of
going on in the
SGDQ,
background.
submissions close tomorrow. Just another reminder.
That's true. Get your runs in, everybody.
your runs in.
There's gonna be some more going on in the background, but to sum it up, since I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but Chris is gonna cut a gas line and then they all die at the end.
Yeah, you know, nothing important or anything.
Nothing
it's just
important.
what's going to lead
Chris
up
and
into
the
the next
gas
chapter.
lines. It's fine. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having us on for this run. I'm very happy that I was able to showcase this at a GDQ to some regard.
Thank
Trans
you for
people
being
are
on,
awesome.
all three of you.
Trans rights. That's
Trans
I'm
rights.
always
Trans rights.
happy to say trans rights as much as physically possible. And yeah, I'm ashmichda. If you want to see me, you can follow me on Twitch. I have Twitter, Blue Sky, all of the above. I stream Deltarune sometimes when I have time. And then my commentators as well should shout themselves out. I thinks.
I'd stream this game a lot.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
That's true. Wiffle does stream this game a lot. I'm Heart of Oak pretty much on every platform, Twitter, Blue Sky, things like that. Heart of Oak Live on Twitch. I've been streaming some Klonoa speedruns here and there, but my heart will always come back to Deltarune as it was my first speed game.
And, huge shout outs to the Deltarune speedrunning community as a whole. Fast Little Boys. Absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful people.
I love all
That's
those
true.
Fast Little Boys. They're so
Shout outs
great.
to just everyone, honestly.
Yeah.
Every one of my friends and community, you know who you are. And thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Happy to have showcased this run here.
Yeah, thank you, all three of you. This was another excellent run. Another run that was very fun to be a part of. We have one more run coming up for the Trans Day of Visibility celebration here on GDQ Hotfix. It is Sayonara Mario World 2. That is a Super Mario World fan game. You don't want to miss it. I've been saying this about every run because I mean it. Because I mean it for every run. If you miss this run, this next upcoming run, you are making a mistake. Stick around. Once more, we will be right back.